I'm getting geared up to build myself a new fight stick, and while I'm waiting for parts to arrive, I've been playing a couple of fighting games to get back into the swing of things. That being said, no matter how much I practice, I don't think I'll ever not be terrible at fighting games. I do like myself some Tekken, DOA, and BlazBlue, but there's one particular fighting game I always go back to, which is the King of Fighters XIII. For me, it's the best 2D fighter there is. Obviously, a lot of people think that the best 2D fighter is Street Fighter II, but I just don't enjoy it as much as I do KOF. We're looking at the PC version here, but the PS3 and Xbox 360 releases look and play pretty much the same. I can appreciate when a series or franchise sticks to its roots, and I think KOF XIII is a prime example of that. The 14th iteration is in 3D, but it held out from switching for a long time. When you consider that the first KOF game came out in '94, and KOF XIV came out in 2016, that's over 20 years. KOF XIII is a great combo of high-end 2D visuals and refined gameplay mechanics. Sprites look great, the animations are very smooth, and the gameplay is fast-paced and action-packed. It's awesome. Even the stages look awesome. I like how much detail and effort they put into them, and when things heat up, the crowd goes frickin' apeshit. Don't choke on that baguette. The music is great too. Nothing like a good fighting game soundtrack gets you all pumped up. The controls aren't overly complicated. Other than the directional controls, you only need to use the 4 face buttons: light punch, hard punch, light kick, and hard kick. Things like rolling and cancels are done by pressing 2 buttons at the same time. The game has a good tutorial mode that covers all the game mechanics when first starting out. So KOF XIII is that reliable senpai that holds your hand when things get a bit overwhelming. That being said, this is the worst boss ever. Look how difficult it is to land a hit. And when you get too close, he'll grab your frickin' face and punch you to death. If you try and keep your distance, he traps you in some sort of black goop and throws his turds at you. What an ass. Plus, he looks like a disgusting mass of flesh. Thankfully, you get options to make the fight easier if he kills you, but it's still difficult even if you give him a mad handicap. And as if that's not enough, you have to fight this guy afterwards. Not only are his attacks annoying, but he makes ridiculously derpy noises. Like, what's that supposed to be? Stupid Dark Link wannabe looking mother... There are a lot of characters you can play as. The characters are all very different in fighting styles, and also their appearances. I like the diversity a lot. Most of the time you control and fight against a team of 3 fighters. The order is selected before the match begins, and there's no way to manually switch between all the characters during the match. My team almost always consists of Kensu, Athena, and Kula. I think the way the special moves work is really intuitive. A lot of them are relatively simple to pull off, and if you have enough meters stored up, you can do stronger versions of those moves by pressing both punch or kick buttons. I like to try them all out in practice mode before I head on to story or arcade mode. Another good way to practice is to play survival or time trial. That's what I do anyways. Trials are a good way to learn new combos also. For some reason I always find the second trial much easier than the first. I've only played multiplayer a couple of times, but it seems to be quite alright. There was no particularly bad lag I experienced. One little feature I quite enjoy is that you can do custom recolors of the characters. There's actually a lot you can change. Because Athena is wearing a school uniform, you can literally recreate hundreds of different anime characters. Can you guess who this is supposed to be? Yeah, that's right, Kirino's switch from running to fighting. Overall, I think that the King of Fighters XIII is exactly what a fighting game is supposed to be. 2D sprites, many varied characters, detailed stages and backgrounds, a nice art style, smooth controls, many different game modes, a sense of humor, and an unobtrusive story. Honestly, I don't really follow the storylines when it comes to these sorts of games, so it's great that it's not shoved in your face if you don't care about it. You can pick it up on Steam, and it's very affordable. A lot of times it's actually on sale, which is nice. If you have a PS3 or Xbox 360, consider finding a physical copy since it has a 4-disc soundtrack. And it's filled with tons of great music. Definitely recommend picking it up if you can find it. Your support makes reviews like this possible, so if you want to, you can check out my Patreon page. I also want to do some Sega Genesis videos actually, but I don't have enough games yet, plus I have no hookups whatsoever for my Sega CD. Your support would go towards funding projects like that. Also, you'll get access to my update feed, so you'll know exactly what I'm up to and what I'm working on. You can also find me on Twitter, where I'm planning to post stuff, I guess. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you again in the next video.